Okay. Good morning, people. It is February 5th, Tuesday, February 5th, 2019. Now, my father has been downloading information to me left and right, and then, making sure all of it was properly integrated so that I would understand everything that I was seeing, and as I commented on it, was getting it right straight from him. I am who he says I am. You may come to a realization later that you know who I am. But what you will not do is tell me that I don't have a right to say anything that I'm saying when you open your mouth at a heartbeat and talk all manner of nonsense and think nobody is supposed to see it, comment on it, or anything like that. You say the only person who can judge you is God, and you don't even know the judgment is already underway. You're killing yourselves. That's a part of judgment. His judgment. You don't even understand how you're going to die. You don't even understand the world in which you live in. You don't even understand how you have trashed it. Like all that trash that, washed up on the shores of Seal Beach in a prominent neighborhood. And the people walking amongst the trash. In the news story, they talking about, oh, they got, there's a couple of people out there walking amongst that stuff, as well as the seagulls are picking at it. And some of that shit is straight up toxic. And you walking in it. You walking in that shit. You're good for something. You didn't have any protective gear on. You just walking in it. That lady at the Dodgers game, she celebrated her anniversary and her birthday with her family. That foul ball went over the protective netting and knocked her unconscious, and she died 4 days later. You are not protected. That plane came out of that sky in Orange County, once again, in an affluent neighborhood, and struck that house and killed those people as they were getting ready to enjoy the game. You are not protected. The pilot was not protected. Retired police officer out of Chicago who lives in Las Vegas, Sin City. You are not protected. You're only protected by your faith and your belief and your prayers and doing right by your fellow man. If you are doing dirt, he's going to expose it. He's going to ruin your lives. Donald Trump can't get enough people exposed fast enough. They've been conducting this investigation for a while. You let that man off the hook. And you know damn well he done bankrupt company after company and cheated people left and right and said all manner of crazy shit. If you left that man off the hook, if you do not get him out of office, there will be hell to pay. You do not want him in there a second term. I can tell you that right now. You want to get some fresh blood in there. And somebody who makes some sense. And who can make a deal. And it's not talking to Russia or North Korea or trying to pick fights with Iran and Iraq. You want somebody in there who's making some sense and is not antagonizing the allies as you supposedly know them. I'm not trying to build a goddamn wall. Because you sitting there saying they taking our jobs. What jobs are these people taking that you have not employed them in legally and illegally as they cross that border? They're your gardeners. You ain't trying to do your own damn lawn. They're your housekeepers. You ain't trying to keep that house up. They're your babysitters. You are not trying to watch your own damn kids. They're the ones in the fields picking your crops because you don't want to do that. You can't do that all on your own. And what, you gonna tell other Americans that you got your jobs taken away from you by people who are doing jobs that you just did not want to do? Something is wrong with you and you have no logic to your argument. You are a straight up fool. You are a loon. That man shut down your government and lost $11 billion for the sake of what he said was 5.7. 3 billion you will never recover. The IRS says they're a year behind now because they didn't open no mail. You are straight up fools. There are military exercises going on in various cities, including downtown LA. What that tell you? They ain't telling you everything. You don't prepare for a war that you ain't ready to fight. And if you're doing it in the cities, your own cities, then that means you scared something's getting ready to jump off. You are straight up fools. Do you hear me? God sees all, knows all, and one thing he does know is this. He has rolled out a new plan for you, meaning that what you did that got you here is not going to get you out. As Colette Bear Reed likes to say, whatever you did to get you here is not going to get you out. I already told you that. All this psychic work has got to stop. You want to work on your intuition, that's one thing, but don't you dare sit there and call yourself an accredited reader and a teacher. Self-anointed and all that kind of shit because you read a goddamn book, but you read the wrong one. That was the Bible. Not to understand it. You have already passed the threshold of no return. You are going to be persecuted again. You think there's strength in numbers? Please. Armenians still have not received reparations for what happened to them, which was considered genocide, that nobody wants to really acknowledge, just like they didn't want to really acknowledge what they did to the blacks when they brought them in slavery into this nation, or what they did to the Native Americans as they put them on reservations. You understand me? What you will not acknowledge will get you killed because you will sit there and go through it again. History writes itself. How you recall it, that shit on you. Just because you said, well, I didn't do it. Oh, yes, you did. If you believe in reincarnation, then you know damn well you did it. You had a hand in it. That's why you saying you spiritual now, trying to force yourself from religion is not going to save your ass. Because you were there and you fucked up the church before you left. And now you still fucked up. As you said, I'm all about love and light. And I'm going to do battle with the darkness. And I already told you, my father's in the darkness. So why would you want to do battle with him as if you think you're going to win? When he controls everything. Guides and angels and more. You already know spirits supposedly flickers your lights and shit like that. Your postings go awry. Your computers get hacked. Or some of you. Some of you have the common sense not to click on something. Some of you don't. You click on it willy-nilly, and then you get a virus. And then you have to pay to get it taken off or buy another piece of equipment. I suggest you not click on the wrong thing. He already knows where you're going and what you're looking for. You are comprised of electrical current. You do realize that, don't you? That's why lightning will come and strike your ass. He will have you on your knees praying before it's over with, trying to do atonement and restitution. And with him, he is not forgiving. He is not all loving or unconditional loving, as you like to say. Everybody who has been put in bondage was put in bondage because they were disobedient to God when they said they served him. He made them go down that pathway in restitution, and sometimes that shit lasted a long time. Like with the Jews. They were scattered. They had no home. They pissed him off. Yet again, he gets tired after a while. They try to remember everything now, but they can't remember it fast enough. Like the fact that the messenger that he sent that was me amongst them, they killed, they plotted, they conspired, and they killed me. They did everything that you guys do now. They stacked the deck in their favor because the people that loved him did not try him. The people who were threatened by him, those were the ones who came after him. But they wanted the Romans to do the dirty work. And the Romans didn't want to. They wanted to wash their hands of that shit. So they conspired to throw it back in the Jews' face. We have no law over this. This is yours. You take care of it. But the Romans did have a hand because they did do the punishment. Because the Jews found him guilty, but they could not kill him. It was against their law. So what did they do? They got the Romans to do it because he was in prison. And they said, which one do you want? And like I said, they stacked the deck in their favor by putting other criminals out there, and the criminals chose, of course they chose themselves. So now, what you gonna say? You understand the story? And now you innocent? Because he paid the price. I paid the price. I bought you time. That's all I did. I bought you time. Your time is up. All the shit that's going on in the world now is your shit. Heaven is not bearing it anymore. It is in the world. It is for you to deal. It's your mess to clean up, and you will clean it up, or you will die trying. And if you call yourself having a chance at everlasting life, you will not trade any more of your soul, but you will do the work that you need to do to atone. Some of you people are never going to make it into the promised land. You are going to burn this rock. I know it. I've seen it. He showed it to me. I've seen all kind of ugliness. Colette Baron says she can read the clouds, but why would the clouds want to read them? Clouds don't want to read them. The people want to read them. That's why she's saying that shit. Because she's selling you a bill of goods. She's a witch. When I first looked at her, I said something's wrong with her. Doreen is a witch. She said it. She said it straight up. She said it in class. She said it on the radio. She said, now it's safe for us to be ourselves. Because they think that, since they done traveled the globe and got all these principalities involved in their foolishness, that they're going to be safe. We'll see how safe you're going to be. As well as anybody who is consorted and conspiring to try and help you, I suggest you divorce yourself from them real quick. You do not want to be in their camp when it burns. Am I threatening you? No. I'm telling you what my father said. I saw it all. You got angels everywhere and guides everywhere, and all they're doing is working on your death. I sat at the table watching work. I wasn't doing anything. I was just watching them work. They were sorting it out. He said, I'm going over here. I'm going over there. I'm going there. And y'all sitting there looking at this shit. Watching people jump off killing you. But they can't kill enough of you fast enough for you to actually get down about it or pay attention. Because they say, well, it's just my time. I'll be back. No, you won't. Not in the way you think, because you're already organized. You organize yourself. I told you what the next waves were going to be. Enough people are going to be left behind that's going to have to fix this shit. As the rest of you are killed off. Then the other people are going to come back and enjoy the fruits of all that labor. And then the fool's going to come back and they're going to commit suicide, which is a sin. And if you don't think that that's not going to be the case, then you don't understand why Judas Iscariot betrayed Christ. And Christ knew he was going to do it. And he did it anyway, with his free will self. You would think he had learned something, but he didn't. Hey, what's up? So that's how the story goes. Yeah, that's how the story goes. He had no choice. He was poised to do that. And he did. But after he realized exactly what he had done, after he learned all these gifts and more, he committed suicide. Because he didn't realize the consequences of his action of turning the master over to the authorities. And he did it for a buck. That's man-made authorities. That's not God's authority. God's authority is far greater and far more reaching. And you are going to have a problem. You already have one. He is not done. He is just getting started. There's so much shit coming down the pipeline. I've seen people crying up storms out there. Male, female alike. some of the ugliest behavior, murders in all kind of ways, garish stuff. And people burned in that plane crash. Unrecognizable. They had to use DNA to identify who they are. And we ain't talking about diseases and stuff like that. They poisoned your water. They poisoned your food supply. They poisoned you with chemicals and more. And you know it. You can't even use baby powder, and you try to get a settlement out of the court system because that shit is not natural and it goes against your body. And you say all these companies are responsible and they're liable. Well, these companies are run by corporations that are comprised of board of directors, CEOs, and workers. And some of you work for these companies. You are not divorced because you work for these companies. You gave rise to them because you needed the job. It was not clean, healthy living. You were just living good. You didn't care about nobody else. And when they shutter these plants, then you sitting there talking about, well, you promised you were going to keep jobs here. You're trying to get you off coal. You said, no, 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 no. Coal is toxic. It gives you black lung disease. You would rather sit there and commit suicide as a coal miner than stop doing that shit. Some people who got hit by that mudslide with all that toxic sludge in Central America, they were only lunch break. They didn't see that shit coming. And you got people that are trying to pull you out of that shit. You dropping bombs in places you ain't got no business dropping bombs, and they go to the wrong place and hit innocent lives and more. And what you want to throw them some frozen rations or some shit like that. What do they call it? Freeze-dried rations. And they're supposed to make it okay. Oh, no, 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 no. You got to take care of those people. You got to get them a home. You can't close the borders now. You open the floodgates. I suggest you look at each of those news stories because they really have something to say. They pin a tail, and it's going to be yours. When you least expect it, that shit will happen. And all you're going to be doing is crying and burying your dead, trying to ask why. Investigating. And it takes a long time to investigate some shit. That's why he ain't going to do it all like that, like y'all were hoping. So I'll tell you what. Review the stories that I posted there. In the word of the day, you have to actually go to dictionary.com to see what it is. Because the link, I thought that was funny because I said he controls all things electronic. It had that error message. And then it had some words down there talking about, things going awry and stuff like page not found. That's your programming lingo to let you know your page in the book of life will be torn out, and that will be it. You will not be found. And you all been writing books, especially all you psychics, and how you came into it. That's the truth. You're writing your final epitaph. I hope you're happy with it. Because when you go, ain't nobody gonna be reading it. They're gonna be having book burning parties again. But that shit. And look at what that man did. That raped the little girl in Texas. And DNA proved that was his child, impregnated the little girl. And you ain't even talking about the scars that's been exposed in all your churches. All the little illegitimate children that your priests and preachers from all various walks of life and faith are now guilty of against their congregations. And you're talking about it's supposed to be a separated church and state, but at the same time, is it really? When you getting politically involved and you still are getting that tax relief, and people are stealing from the church, and you sitting there wondering why. First off, you might want to do an investigation. Did they steal out of necessity, or did they steal out of greed? Because that's what the word of the day alluded to. Churches ain't doing their job. So people just I'll just go back and take mine. I don't need to see all that glitter and gold in a church like the Catholic Church does. Vatican City and all that shit. Nobody wants to see that shit. Because it's a misappropriation of what? You living good and the people are still suffering, and you sitting there saying you are good and godly and you delivering the word of God and you saving souls. What you are doing is you're condemning them to a hateful hell if you sin against them. Them nuns stealing that money from that church, that was ridiculous and torrent. Dump out, they was gambling and, just living well. And then the order was going to repay the money. Why is the order even still associated with them? But you don't have a way to excommunicate your nuns and make them either accountable and go to jail for stealing, for embezzlement, and make restitution. See, the fact that you are doing that as the order, that makes you duplicitous. Because you already know you should have been on your P's and Q's, and none of that shit should ever happen, not under your watch. That's how we feel about the church. When people sit there and keep their mouth shut, and they know as they sit in their congregation that the minister's tipping, but they know who they tipping with, and they know if they fathering a child, just like a former pastor of mine, but he wasn't really mine. I ain't like that man. He had a spirit on him that was wrong. And I found out later that one of my cousins, he was the father of. Because he's like, Mom, my mother adored him. The people still, they still adore him at that church. I don't care. I had never dreamt about that man. I dreamt about his wife. I didn't care for her either. She was fucked up. When I saw her, she was real fucked up in the man. I said, wait, what's going on, Mother Woods? And she's sitting there pointing to the man upstairs. I said, yeah, too bad for you. I hope it works out. So don't tell me I don't know what I know. And none of your shit is proven. But mine is working out. Yours is stopping. Why? Because spirits want to chew on the hook like a fish. So we could separate the true fish from the sharks in the ocean. Which my father showed me we were going to do. And now we're doing it. We're exposing all your shit. You said you want to read for entertainment purposes? Well, I hope you're entertained by your own shit. Because all the world's a stage, and everybody's a player. And you all got a part to play. You might not like it, but you're going to play it. Paris is burning. Some crazy woman set the building on fire. I told you, don't you come at me. Like I told you, I identify with Whoopi. Don't you tweet me, don't you write me, and you best not comment on my thread. Keep your thoughts as private as you can. You know amongst yourselves you want to, but don't plot, don't spy, don't conspire. Because you really don't know who's around you with all these damn portals open and the veil so thin. You don't know whose side they really are on. They'll tell you in a minute, because mankind can't lie, that they are there to help you. They'll usher you to your death. They'll have you slipping and sliding on the highway. They'll have you in a 40-pound car pilot with all this ice, all this rain. They'll wash you off the road in the mudslide. They don't care. Their job is to educate you to stop knowing your shit, especially when it comes to all that psychic work and trying to peer into the eyes of God. Stop declaring yourself to be God. You really shouldn't be doing that first and foremost. And whatever you do, you might want to start taking notes to what He has prepared me to teach, because I didn't want to do it, but I had to. I'll do anything for Him. Like the first time. But see, He promised me protection, so I'm gonna live. You're not. Artisan spring water. This girl gave it to me. You know, I can Revelations. The water that flows towards the tree of life. My Papa's already blessed this. I ain't thinking about you people. I've been drinking it. It's my second bottle. So, tell you what, you think about everything I just said. There'll be more to come. But right now, I'm going to go back and rest. It's a little cool out here, a little chilly. It's going to get chillier. Anything done raining?